taking my dog on a walk right now. I'm on this nature trail near my house. I wanted to make a video today just about just some random things that I've been experiencing here in the last 2 years of my life. So, I came off Suboxone, was that 20, I think it was like the end or middle of 23. I have to go back and watch the videos. But that time since then has been a roller coaster. Just ups and downs of range of emotions. One thing I realized was I hadn't really felt anything in the whole time I was on it. So I was on it for right around 12 years. And that's way too long to be on a medication unless it works for you. I know some people can handle it better, and I think for me it was more just a decision to want to get off. I was ready to move on with my life, but some of the emotions that came back I never actually dealt with, and a lot of it was based on my childhood traumas. And I'm not talking about really severe trauma. This was more, I think, universal traumas that children experience with their parents and growing up in school. Things of that nature. How's it going? But nonetheless, those emotions will fester and grow if you don't work through them. And I'm sure everyone, you guys have heard this before, but you have to sit with all those feelings, and that's the hardest part. Because when I was medicated, I was always feeling pretty good, because opiates make you feel pretty good. So I was just kind of living in this cloud nine where everything felt good, and I felt like everything I was doing was really purposeful. I had a lot of conviction. But then I came off, and that first year was that first few months, I was fairly happy. I was still feeling physically really bad, but I was just so happy that I had conquered this vice and had the strength to come off. And then once that faded, everything came back. Because basically the way I look at it is when I started, I was in my 20s. So basically from early 20s to 30, I hadn't really taken the time to digest my life. And I was also working a lot, running a landscaping company. I was investing a lot in the stock market, I just wanted to be successful. I didn't want to have to worry about money. My parents struggled with money their whole life. And, I was so focused on that I had neglected my personal health. And when I say health, I mean mental health mostly, because I'm pretty active. But through that recourse of not working on it, it just got worse. And I hadn't dealt with it. So now that I'm finally dealing with it, how you doing? Happy New Year. Yeah. now that I'm finally dealing with it, all these new feelings are coming up. And this is critical for anyone on here that's struggling with addiction. Everyone has different sets of struggles. My struggles are different than what your struggles could be, and they probably are. So you have to just tailor it to your individual circumstances. But what I've realized was I had never fully matured, and I have a lot of insecurities. I never felt grounded because I was kind of like false grounding myself through the substances. If I felt low, I'd take something. If I felt too like amped up, I'd take something to calm me down. So I was kind of grounding myself through the substances, and I hadn't really even learned how to like properly breathe or speak or anything like that. I didn't go to school. I'm not the most educated person when it comes to like academic education. All my education was from books that I read, videos that I watched, and then I'd say the biggest thing that I grew from was just experiences. So actually like doing the hard things and learning from the mistakes. Becoming a confident individual, whether man, or woman, whatever. It's going to be different for everyone. Because I'm a man, speaking from that perspective, there's a lot of things in our culture now that will make you lazy and weak if you let it take over. Dopamine chasing was like probably the biggest thing. And like a big one for me was like when I came off, this is hard for me to talk about. This is the hardest thing for me to talk about, but my sex drive was basically gone the whole time I was on Suboxone. And then I came off Suboxone, and I went through a phase where I was just, all I could think about was, hooking up with as many people as possible and making up for lost time. So I did that for like a brief period after a breakup I went through. And then I realized like every time I woke up the next day after, hooking up with someone or whatever, we'd have a good time, go out to eat, do whatever. There's like excitement and like meeting someone new and all that stuff. But then I would feel really, really bad afterwards. Not bad for what I did, not bad for anything like that. It was more like, oh geez, that was some kind of bug. It was more just like bad that I didn't feel fulfilled. It's like basically just handling like a human need, and it just wasn't satisfying, I guess. So I went through kind of a depression there where I didn't know what I could do to make myself feel complete. So I was seeking external, validation. I was trying to fix my internal issues with by doing external things. And they really don't work. And if you're in that phase, like You go through it, do whatever you have to do, but most of the times, if you are, a highly creative mind, you're a thinker, those type of things aren't going to fulfill you, because the way your brain's wired, if it's like anything like mine, is you want to build something. You want to, build a future with yourself and for someone else. You don't really get much satisfaction from short-term like happiness, and it goes back to chasing that short-term dopamine. So fast forward like 2 years, I started dating this girl, and she was, our chemistry was good. She's smart, she's successful, gonna be successful. She's pharmacist and all this, but I struggle with, like, I was in a relationship, but I was still having these problems. So I was struggling with like commitment. And I think that struggle comes from an internal lack of doing the work. So through my lack of doing the work, I was unsure about what I wanted. And you have to come to a point where you decide, like, I want peace over excitement. And I think for men, this is really important. I don't know for women, I can't say it's the same for women, because I think women really want more excitement than peace. Like, it just seems like women are just all about, if you're create a good frame for a woman, she can be at peace. But as soon as like some drama is around, they'll cling on to it, and they feed on it. They love that drama, the excitement. That's something that women really cling to. But we as men don't really want that. So a big thing for me was, here's a dog coming. I'm gonna get control of my dog real quick. Hey, stop. Nope. Sit. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. I have a crazy pit bull. Slinky. See how crazy she looks? Yeah. I also found this dog on this trail. Found this dog like 2024 February. I rescued her. Didn't really want to at the time, but I'm glad I did. She's been amazing. She's crazy as shit though, but the sweetest dog, honestly, I've ever had. One of the sweetest dogs. But anyways, what was I saying? Okay, so yeah, like, I went through all that, and then I came to realize that, like, having a sense of peace is way more important than short-term dopamine fixes. And I own a kava bar in Pensacola, and I see every day that I'm working up there people that are going through this type of thing where they're totally obsessed with dopamine and quick fixes, and I get it. Life really is challenging when you have all these things around you. It's really hard to want to eat healthy when there's this like very like dopaminergic like fast food around you, where you can just get a double cheeseburger that tastes really good in the moment. And I would compare that to like having short-term flings. It's like having fast food. You don't really feel great afterwards. So, I mean, I guess some people would feel okay with it, but I honestly don't really believe that they might feel okay with it for like a while, but at some point they're gonna realize that they're like still lacking. And I promise you it's gonna happen to you too. Look how beautiful it is out here. Just all these trees around, the sky, sound of the water. There's water here. A can. Someone threw a can in there. So very beautiful. But yeah, like you have to work on your internal. You have to trust your gut, and sometimes your gut is right, but right at the wrong time. So you might think you're doing the right thing, which you are, but in the moment it feels wrong. But I'd say like 9 times out of 10, your gut will lead you in a better direction than you're going currently. And that's kind of like where the point that I got to was I fully accept who I was. I didn't really like my past self. I was very codependent, afraid to leave relationships. I had a weird upbringing in the sense that like I got a lot of attention because of the way I look. And you guys might not find me attractive, which is fine, but I just get a lot of attention, and that attention is it's like false confidence. So basically, since like it's like if you go around life as a really beautiful woman, if that person doesn't work on themselves, they can go through their whole life until their looks start to fade, just living on other people's attention, because it makes them feel important, like they're doing the right things. But what I came to realize was, especially as I'm getting older, that I had never worked on my internal. And I was weak. I was a really weak-minded individual. I was seeking validation all the time. Seeking friendships, new relationships, trying to impress, those type of things. And once I just stopped and assessed where I'm at in life, no longer going through life with this sense that you're lacking. I would say it's the best word, where the sense that you're lacking something, where you're always having to seek out something new. You can finally find peace, and that is long. It's a long-lasting feeling. No medication can give you that feeling. And don't get me wrong, if you need some kind of antidepressant for a while, if you need to take some kind of antidepressants to get you back on track for a while, by all means. I've taken all that stuff. Prozac was like the one that worked for me, but they're all different. But I was on a form of SSRI for a while, and that really did help me at the time. But I always knew, I always felt in the back of my mind that it's not a real fix. Come on, Slinky. So, anyways, you have to work on yourself. No medications. And it's like, I watch all these channels. I don't really watch them. The algorithm sends them to me. But it's like, I guess because I'm a man, and sends it to, tailors it somehow. It thinks that I would want to watch this stuff, but it's a lot of the stuff on there is like guys that are pushing this narrative of like stay single as long as you can, stay single. Almost to an extreme, right? So, hey, slow down. And I don't necessarily believe that. I believe if you are of the type of mind that you want to build something lasting, something strong, like a good foundation. How you guys doing?
How are you?
Good. There's a lot of people on this trail. Yeah, I get a lot of stuff from YouTube mostly, and it'll be like guys that are like, don't get married, stay single. Basically almost saying that like, you don't need women. And I don't think you need women. I really don't. I think you could live your life single for a while, and that would be fine. But I'm 36. I guess I could stay single till I'm 40. I don't know. Like, there's really no right or wrong answer. But for you, every individual, you should know deep down in your gut what you actually want. Don't just follow the narrative because that's what's being pushed to you. If that, you get all these people saying, oh, stay single. So then you basically go, I don't need a relationship. But maybe like deep down in your gut, that's what you actually want. And you know that would be good for you because of your personality type. So you can't listen you have to trust your gut. What actually makes sense to you? Do you do better when you're in a relationship? Do you do better when you're single? And I'd say like half the guys I know, the biggest mistakes they made, especially when you're young, the biggest fuck ups they made is when they were single. Almost all of them. My best friend just got in a horrible motorcycle accident because he's like constantly going from bar to bar, hooking up with girls, and he's living this life that's just like trying to impress, right? He's all about fashion, trending stuff, and yeah, he's 25. He fucked up his legs, got in a really bad motorcycle accident, broke both his legs, severely like crushed him, and now he's back with this girl that's like taking care of him. So it's like, as much as we think we can live single, it's nice to have someone there to keep us in check. Like, especially men, like some men need a woman to keep you in check. And that's how it's been forever. And guys want to fucking deny that shit, but we're wired different. There's a reason that we always had females around us, and that we wanted to pair bond, etc. So yeah, don't buy into the narrative of stay single just because that's what is on YouTube and that's the content you follow. And I think a lot of guys are just like obsessed with the idea of sex, and sex being this like ultimate thing. But it's really not. It's like the ultimate thing is finding someone that can be your best friend and you be a best friend to them. That's really ultimately what people want. And if you need that, which I'm assuming you do, or you want that, then that's what you should do. And obviously be smart about it. Do your due diligence. Don't just like blindly get engaged to some woman that's like crazy. And it's hard because, women don't always show you their true colors until later on. And it's not even that they don't show you their true colors. Women just change so much. I feel like unlike men, women are very submissive and agreeable. So like whoever they're with, whatever frame you build is the frame that they'll fall into. So, you know, you have to almost pull them into your frame and then see if they want to be in that frame, because maybe they don't, and then that's your signal to leave the relationship. If you try to pull them into a frame and your frame is solid and strong and it's not like controlling, etc., it's just a good frame, but they still don't want to be in it, there's probably some issue with the woman. But if everything else lines up and she accepts your frame, she feels safe in it, she wants to be with you, then that could be a really good thing for you. And I'm sure probably a lot of men are not even at that phase of life. They're probably at step one, where they're just trying to figure out how to even get a woman's attention or a girl's attention. And if you're at that step one, that's fine too. But yeah, so I love this trail. All the ferns. There's deer out here sometimes. Anyways, that's basically all I have to talk about today. I'm a little sluggish. I've had a rough couple weeks. But I still come out here and I still make it a point to go on these walks, do my thing, try to stay focused, all that good stuff. That's all you can really do. Don't wait for the stars to align to like take action. It's like take action even if you feel like you have to peel yourself off the couch or you're having trouble getting out of bed. You just got to get up and do stuff. As hard as it is, I know it's hard. I struggle with energy, like the fatigue, and like post withdrawal fatigue or whatever. I mean, honestly, I think I was just fatigued before that, but it's even worse. It's definitely worse afterwards. But yeah, you can definitely you can make strides to improve yourself. Stay positive. Try to ignore the noise. Spend some time with yourself. If you have to stay single to do that, do that. Do it but like do it with intention. If you choose to stay single, don't just stay single and just kind of float around. Stay single. Fix yourself. Get yourself right. Get your mind right. What I did is I went on a couple men's retreats, took up scuba diving, went skydiving, went on trips, started taking a lot of trips for myself, started just like doing things that I've always wanted to do, learn new things, become interested in people. I did a lot of things to kind of like refocus my mind. And I still struggle. Like I'm 36 and I might seem like I have it all together, but I really don't. There's a lot of, there my eyes are all, got something in my eye. I'm 36, but I'm still working on it. I'm still working through stuff. But yeah, with that, I'm at 30 minutes of talking here. So that's basically it. Stay positive. I hope this message finds you well. I might not even put it up. We'll see. Y'all have a good one.